Now I have the right streaming setup on. Why does it default? Why does it default to this one? Doesn't make any sense. Save profile, delete profile, duplicate profile. What about if I move that up? Can I move this up? No. Nah, I just fuck with it. Okay. Hello, people. Welcome to the stream today. Today's stream is brought to you by, if you need a hero, look in the mirror. Who's more of a hero at Ground Zero than you? That's real. That's real talk right there. Oh man, what are we doing today? Today we're gonna do two things. We're gonna chill most of all, and then we're gonna discuss. Last week we went and did the I need to put on some music. Last week we did the top 164 games of all time list that my brother Mac Murdoch put on his Instagram. We're gonna go see who won that round and then discuss the next round. So once I find this album to play, there we go. Oh, I need to put this back on my desk. There we go. All right. So we're gonna go through his list real quick, and then yeah, we're gonna go through his list real quick and see what won, and then we're gonna discuss the next round because I think the next round's up already. I'm not sure. I missed something. I don't know. We'll see. So I think I had it. This one. There we go. Sweet. All right. Click that button. Put this in front of me, actually. Then I can listen to some music, too. Okay, so. We're back here. Back at my brother's page. I'll throw his Instagram into the thing. Boom. You can find this 124 list, and if you'd like to vote, you can go there to vote over at my brother's Instagram at instagram.com/MacMurdoch. Yeah, we're gonna go check out his the day one list. Even though it's kind of broken. It's broken on PC. And of course I'm losing frames, but you know, you can't have a day without lost frames. All right. What is happening here? Okay. So yeah, so we're going to go through his story here, discuss, and we'll see how it went. So I think this is day one. Is this the one that we did already? I think this is the one we did. Yeah, okay. This is the one that we did, which is the, yeah, this is the one we did. So we're going to go to the one we haven't done yet. So this should be a lot shorter because it's half the length. So we're probably, let's actually, why don't we do both at the same time and see like which one won? Because then we can discuss that too. And I think that'll be a good time. I think I hit that update. Okay, cool. I did hit the update. All right. I'm going to turn that down just a smidgeton. There we go. Okay. You ready? You're ready for hot takes? Ready for hot takes. Well, I'm ready to see who won what. I think that'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see who won what. And then also, I don't think that he's going to randomize the rest of the rounds, which I think he should. But that's just me. But let's get started. So out of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, who won? Oh, also, boop. Let's see, 164 games, round 2. Hey guys, we're back for another round. So many great titles got knocked out of the first round, but so many more remain. Remember to vote for your favorite and not which one you think will win. Oh, hey Tech. We're going over my brother's 164 games of all time and seeing which one is number one. Hey Gina, welcome in. Yeah, lurk. Go lurk. So this was a thing that my brother messaged me after I did the first one. And he's like, you should discuss what you would like to win instead of what you think will win. But personally, for me, I think what is likely to win is actually more fun. Because what I want to win is very subjective, right? What I think will win in the grand scheme of things is very different. We're working on donation incentives. Oh, hell yeah. I need to do mine, too. I need to do the donation stuff. Because I want people to get their money's worth for their donation. Okay, so, yeah, that's something that he talked to me. I want to go hard in November? Hell yeah. I'll be doing mine the second week of December. That'll be my game day. Yeah, so that's something that he talked to me about was trying to talk about what I would like to win instead of what will win. But what I would like to win is Shadow of the Colossus. And will that win? Probably not. Probably not. So, we move on. So, who won between Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask? That would be Ocarina of Time. And if we go back, what won between Breath of the Wild and Link to the Past would be Breath of the Wild. Just send me a reward already? Hell yeah, man. You're good. I'll be donating again in November. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. If I have the money, I'm gonna be donating. But yeah, so then now we have Ocarina of Time versus Breath of the Wild, which most people would say are the two best Zelda games of all time. You're already sad? Are you sad that Link to the Past won, or are you sad that Majora's Mask didn't win? Because I'll tell you, I don't like Majora's Mask. Never have, never will. You can't get me to like it. But the fact that Wind Waker's not in this is also a hard one too, right? I would have picked Wind Waker over either of these. But since it's between Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild, Majora's Mask is better than Ocarina of Time. A lot of people would disagree with you, and a lot of people would agree with you, which is the best thing about these polls, right? But so you have Ocarina of Time versus Breath of the Wild. I think that you love Link to the Past. Yeah, and Diminish Cap? Hell yeah. Diminish Cap was great. For being a what's it called? A handheld game, Diminish Cap was amazing. So like people always get Diminish Cap and Spirit Tracks, I think is the other one. No, is it Spirit Tracks and I don't remember what the other one is, but they get them confused all the time. But yeah, I really liked the Diminish Cap, and I really liked oh yeah, that's the one. Phantom Hourglass is the one that get the confused. Yeah. Phantom Hourglass was good. Spirit Tracks was okay. But between Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild, I think more people know today Breath of the Wild. However, Ocarina of Time obviously was like the quintessential 360 game. Oh, sorry, 360. N64 game. More people have probably... More older generation have probably played Ocarina of Time than they have played Breath of the Wild. But Breath of the Wild is like in today's eye. Huge in today's eye. I expect Breath of the Wild to win. However, I would pick Ocarina of Time. Breath of the Wild, as much as it says that it innovates, it actually just kind of... As much as like Breath of the Wild innovates and stuff, it really leans a lot on other open world games. Very Skyrim, very like survival games like 7, what's it called? The 7 something or other. 7 Days to Die and other things like that. And I think that and also Souls. It's very Souls-like too. Like, it's hard. Like, when you start, you can't really take on too many enemies at one time. And I love Breath of the Wild. I sank hundreds and hundreds of hours into Breath of the Wild. But what is a better game? What is a better game? I think that Ocarina of Time is a better game. That's the way that I will see it, is that Ocarina of Time is a better game. Breath of the Wild is a better experience, is what I would look. So it's weird because Ocarina of Time has a story, right? It's a story that has a start and has a finish. And Breath of the Wild, its story is very, like, made by you. Its story is very, you can choose to experience parts of the story and choose to not experience parts of the story. So it's very kind of, like, subjective to how you played the game, right? But that's the Zelda in Ocarina of Time. You were forced to do certain aspects of that game that you can't do, or that you need to, move on. And Breath of the Wild, you can literally go to Ganon's castle, fight Ganon, and end the story there. You have no idea about any of the champions or the lore or the divine beasts or the memories they had between you and Zelda. Like, all those can go away. So in terms of better game, I'd probably go with Ocarina of Time. Obviously, Ocarina of Time is dated, right? It'll be dated. A lot of these will be dated, but that's not where we're casting our votes for. Next one we have. Oh, I should probably go. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 versus 2. 2-1. Surprising. Tried playing Breath of the Wild, but it was overhyped. Speaking of which, by the way, I need to see if I can browser, existing chat box, go. Okay, there you go. I wanted to have that there. I can also throw it on this end above me. You know what? That's fine. I'll do that for right now. I'm trying playing Breath of the Wild, but it was overhyped. It was not very good at explaining things to do. So that was part of the experience, is they wanted you to do what you wanted to do, right? So, I think that, this is what I'm up to. You can contribute if you'd like by, letting me know what you think about particular games in particular competitions, so. We should do a tier list in the server. Hell yeah, we should do our own list, because Stardew Valley is not in here, and as much as I don't like Stardew Valley, it belongs on this list. Same goes for a lot of games. A lot of games belong on this list. So, but here we go. So between Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, 2 actually won, and between Tony Hawk's Underground and Skate, Tony Hawk's Underground won. Of course, respectively. Yeah. We all put our input in. So we have, this is one that hurts a little bit. I'm more of a Skate guy than Tony Hawk's Underground, but I think the name Tony Hawk precedes things like Skate. Just having the name Tony Hawk makes it automatically more recognizable than Skate. And I know that a lot of people play Tony Hawk Underground on the PS2, so I understand that. I understand this one less than I understand this one. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, 2 just added more stuff to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. Though I like 1 more just because of the music. But here we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 versus Tony Hawk Underground. Honestly, this would probably go to Underground is my guess. My guess this would be more Underground than it would be 2, just because again it's another iteration later on the series, more innovative, so on and so forth. That's my assumption. Pro Skater 2 is more polished. I don't know. Underground was pretty polished. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is still a N64 game, and Underground was a PS2 game. So I'm going to assume that Underground is a little bit more fleshed out, but I don't know. So we'll go back to the next one. GTA 3 versus GTA 4. And Vice City versus San Andreas. Run into a ton of... well, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of games that I got into bugs with that I don't particularly like for their reasons. But, you know, people like them. So GTA 4 won against GTA... What? GTA 4 won against GTA 3. That makes sense. And Vice City versus San Andreas. Where did GTA 5 go? Oh, GTA 5 versus LA Noire. Okay. Gundam. Yep, Gundam. Heartbreak for Gundam, by the way. R.I.P. Gundam. Maybe one day we'll get to play it. Oh, man. That'll be a riot. So it looks like that he moved this somewhere. Vice City versus San Andreas. So we have GTA 4. And so LA Noire lost. We all knew that would happen. And GTA 3 lost because, again, GTA 4 is just better. But here we have GTA 4 versus GTA 5. I think this is an easy win for GTA 5. It's just better. It's just better in every way. And more fleshed out, especially car controls. Car controls in GTA 5. Car controls in GTA 4, it's like you're driving a boat, but on land. And in GTA 5, it's very crisp, very clean. And again, the multiplayer is so instrumental to GTA 5 that I think this is not even a contest. You're going to say, what? You were going to say the opposite? What, GTA 5 controls like a boat? Now, GTA 4, like your car had no traction. No car had traction in GTA 4. So, if you watch any gameplay, go type into Google Cops and Crooks GTA Play 1 and you'll see what I mean. All right. So then we had GTA 5 controls great, but you think 4 is a better game? Are we talking we're talking about the game as a whole. So we're talking about multiplayer included. So I think with GTA 5's multiplayer, I think it's just a step ahead of GTA 4. Though I like the story of GTA 4 more than GTA 5. I like the area in GTA 5 far greater than GTA 4. But that's just because I live in LA. Like, I'm from LA. I can go to so many places in LA in the game. Like, I could go... Like, I used to work at the Hollywood Bowl. And you can actually go to the Hollywood Bowl in the game. And you can even go to, like, Griffith Observatory and stuff. So... Yeah, I didn't play GTA. I played GTA Online when it came out, but I didn't play past that. So I played like maybe the first like 2-3 weeks. But now things are like wild. There's like raids and what's the other thing that's in there? There's like raids and impromptu races and gangs and CEOs and companies and stuff. Like, it got wild. It got wild. Now there's like flying cars and a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like but yeah, I think that just in general, I think GTA 5 is going to take the cake really easy. Yeah, RP. Yep. Lots of role playing, a lot of Twitch streamers or YouTubers making videos based on content in the game of role playing and stuff. Yeah, big. True, very true. So the next games that we had were the Tekken series versus Soul Calibur. And I assume that Dragon Ball Z Fighters versus Street Fighter will come up. And I think we said that Tekken was probably going to win. And so was Street Fighter. Oh, San Andreas versus Red Dead Redemption. Okay, gotcha. This makes sense. So this was Red Dead Redemption versus... Wait, this was Red Dead Redemption versus what? Oh, no. I think it's the series, Red Dead 1 and 2 and online, all thrown into one. What was it versus? Because I think it was was it The Last of Us? No, Last of Us was versus Destiny. Oh my god. I wish he had put like a previous contender like at the bottom or the top, but that would be a lot of work for him. Red Dead Redemption versus Elden Ring. Elden Ring lost versus Red Dead Redemption. Oh, it looks like it was specifically 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. So, but that's awesome that Elden Ring lost. I'm actually kind of surprised, but I guess like his player base is a bunch of oldie gamers. Like the people who are voting on this stuff is a bunch of like older gamers. And so Red Dead Redemption would probably resound more with them than Elden Ring would. But that's awesome. That's probably a big upset for a lot of people. Even though I believe Elden Ring belongs on the list of 164 games. However, I don't believe it should have won. But what will win between San Andreas and Red Dead Redemption? Honestly, I think that Red Dead Redemption will win. And you know what? I would probably pick Red Dead Redemption 2. San Andreas probably wins this. I don't know. People like being cowboys. Not only do people like being cowboys, but again, I'm also thinking about psychology here, where another GTA game is already on the board. So people are like, oh, well, I mean, I vote for that GTA game, right? But it's going to be better than San Andreas, so I might as well vote for Red Dead Redemption. So, I don't know. I'm thinking Red Dead Redemption will take that one. So again, let's see. The next ones were the Tekken versus Soul Calibur and Dragon Ball Z Fighters versus Street Fighter. I assume Tekken versus Street Fighter. Exactly what I said was gonna happen. Both are extremely psychoanalyzed. Yeah. Both are extremely popular games, especially with the new Tekken coming out, like Tekken 6. It's in the people's eye right now. And then again, the same thing with Street Fighter. Street Fighter in the people's eye right now. With Street Fighter 6 as well, that's coming out. Funny, are they both 6? They can't be. Tekken can't be 6, can it? I don't know. That's weird. Maybe it is 6. I don't know. But I think that this one's a little bit harder, but I think that Street Fighter will probably win, just because, again, notoriety thing. Street Fighter is more well-known, and more in tournaments and stuff than any other game. There are multiple versions of Street Fighter. If you don't like Street Fighter 2, there's a potential that you might like a Street Fighter down the line. Especially like Street Fighter 5 was such a different take on Street Fighter 2 arcade. And yeah, I think that Street Fighter will win. I think Tekken will fight hard. I think people like Tekken. But that's what I assume. That's what I assume will win. So this was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 versus Injustice, and Dead or Alive versus Mortal Kombat. I'm pretty sure we actually picked Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Mortal Kombat in this, which I'm glad that the ones I picked did win. This one's a lot harder because everybody fucking loves both of these series. Mortal Kombat is far more well-known than Marvel vs. Capcom, for sure. Too bad I'm bad at Street Fighter, so I vote Tekken, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. I just think that Street Fighter is just too well-known. Like, Street Fighter is just too important, I think. And that even goes back to Marvel vs. Capcom here. Like Marvel vs. Capcom has all the Street Fighter characters in it. It's got Ryu and Ken and Dan Hibiki. He's gotta love that man. And Sakura and yeah. So it's got a bunch of them, and Zangief and M. Bison. Like, yeah. Doesn't have a movie with Kylie Minogue. Excuse me. What do I think will actually win here versus Marvel Capcom 2 and the Mortal Kombat series? I think the Mortal Kombat series will take it, but I really, really wish that Marvel vs. Capcom would win, because I like Marvel vs. Capcom more than Mortal Kombat, but it's hard. What a flex. Dude, it's got Dan Hibiki. Look at this man. I wish I could zoom in for you. I love Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, I love like Dan Hibiki. He's cool. He's got one of the most powerful moves in the game, but it just doesn't go very far. He goes, he does the Hadouken, but a tiny little purple like blip comes out, and it goes. But if you hit somebody with it, they go flying. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 wins here purely because the last games were rough. I don't agree with you, by the way. I don't think the last MK games were rough. I think 9 through 11 have been amazing and very, very well designed. I'm bad at them. Don't get me wrong. Yep, Marvel vs. Capcom is where you get to play as Phoenix Wright as well. I'm bad at them. Again, don't get me wrong, but like, I really think that Mortal Kombat has been doing extremely well in the last iterations of the game. The very early iterations of the game were very good. I would say the middle is really the roughest part, but a lot of people don't remember those particular titles. Like, yeah, the online's rough, but the gameplay is still good. Like, all the lands or all the tournaments are really intriguing and really well made and really hard fought. And there's a lot of variety in the Mortal Kombat scene. I know 2 people who are in the Mortal Kombat scene who play vastly different characters. One plays Melina, and another one plays Aaron Black. So I think that Mortal Kombat will win. However, I do like Marvel vs. Capcom more. And I think I will always like Marvel vs. Capcom more just because the variety of characters that it has. So that's what I think will win is Mortal Kombat. So we had Smash Bros. 1 versus Smash Bros. Melee. And then Smash Bros. Brawl versus Smash Bros. Ultimate. This doesn't make sense to me. How did Smash Bros. 1 win versus Melee? There's something wrong here. This actually doesn't make sense. In terms of better gameplay, in terms of more characters, in terms of more levels, in terms of more notoriety, in terms of like the scene, like Smash Bros. Scene, Melee is the game. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's probably older players, right, saying like N64 is probably the console they had and they didn't get another console until either a Switch or like Xbox One or something like that. You know, like a lot of people they had an N64 and they didn't play, and then they had a PS2 and then they didn't play anything, right, for a while, and now they're coming back. So this doesn't actually make any sense to me. I feel like, again, the voter bias is probably showing in this particular one right here. I think Melee would beat Smash Ultimate in a general video game, like in a community of video gamers. I think that Smash would probably beat any of the 4 that were here. And then Smash Ultimate beat out Brawl. That was easy. Brawl was okay at best. And Smash 4 was better than Brawl anyway, in my opinion. But a lot of people didn't play Smash 4 because it was on a Wii U or a 3DS. And so people didn't play it. So now we come to Smash 1 versus Ultimate. I mean, Ultimate's got to win, right? Like, I don't think there's anything holding Ultimate back. It's got extra characters, extra stages, got multiple modes. It's got a level builder. I mean, sure, Smash Bros. 1 is like a brand new game. Hey, Sancho. Sancho, by the way, I wish I had a shout out button. I don't have a shout out key here, but everybody, Sancho is one of the people that inspired me to pick up speedrunning of Shadow of the Colossus later in this year. And Sancho donates like a bunch to his local charity for food. It's a hunger relief fund. So he primarily streams Ico, Shadow of the Colossus. I think he does a little bit of Last Guardian, but also Flower, Flow, and he just does a lot of general speedruns, including Super Mario and Journey. But if you like that kind of speedrunning stuff, like throw him a follow, and he's a good guy. So thanks, Sancho, and thanks for stopping by. I don't know if you know what we're doing. We are currently going through the top 164 games list on my brother's Instagram. It's not the best, but you know, it's what we're working with here. So, somehow, some way, in the grand scheme of things, as we said, like, it's not the best. Super Smash Bros. Melee lost to Super Smash Bros. 1. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, just chill out, hang out for fun. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, is like, I think the demographic for this, particular poll are people that had a 64 and then had a PS2 and then didn't have a console until now. So Smash Bros. 1 is a game that they played. They understand that they played it, and so they picked it. Not that they picked it because it's a better game, but they picked it because they didn't play Melee. It doesn't make sense, but it is the way that this poll went. I really thought that Melee was going to be in the top 10 or top 8 or whatever the top section of games was going to be. I really thought that Melee was going to be there, but I guess I overestimated the player base of this tournament. But yeah, I just think Ultimate will win here. Warcraft versus StarCraft, and I'm assuming he's going to pit this against another one, which would probably Civ or Age of Empires. Yep, there we go. Okay, so Warcraft 3 beat StarCraft, and Age of Empires beat Civilization. Age of Empires beating Civ is a little strange, but again, this is like, because Civilization there's been so many iterations of Civ, you know, throughout the years, and they always updating it, and Age of Empires finally gets a re-release in Age of Empires 4, and then the re-release of Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition. So I guess it's just in the people's eye right now, but in terms of like an RTS, and again, like the StarCraft versus Warcraft, that's hard because, again, like they're both extremely similar. And I probably would have put, I mean, I like StarCraft more than I like Warcraft, but I understand that Warcraft not only has more of a name, I love how he put not World of Warcraft. Had to put that down because I made a comment in my previous video of people think that this is going to be World of Warcraft because World of Warcraft is not on this list somewhere. Final Fantasy 14 and World of Warcraft are not on this list. So he had to put in that it's not World of Warcraft, which is very funny. But I'll just say I think both belong on this list, but that's just me. But between World of Warcraft and Warcraft 3 and Age of Empires, I mean, I like Age of Empires. I really like Warcraft 3 as well, and I think Warcraft 3 really added a lot of new stuff to the genre. But if I had to pick one, I probably would pick Age of Empires. I think Age of Empires is just, the game is so well made, and Warcraft is like very based on your hero, and I like the heroes, and that's like part of the story and the lore of the world is something that I like in Warcraft 3. But Age of Empires is just our history. You get to play freaking Joan of Arc. How cool is that? I assume that Warcraft 3 will win out of Age of Empires because more people, again, know the name Warcraft. But in terms of gameplay, I think Age of Empires has better gameplay than Warcraft 3. But that's just me. I think that it's a thing about fairness as well. Like every class in Warcraft 3 has a different stuff. And Age of Empires, everybody's got the same thing except for a particular unit that only you can build and a particular building that only you can build. So I'd probably give this one to Warcraft 3 for what I think will win. Then we had Mario Kart 64 versus Mario Kart 8. And I'm pretty sure it was Diddy Kong Racing versus Wave Racer 64. I'm pretty sure that's what was versus Diddy Kong. What? How? I love Mario Kart 64. Love it to death. How does it lose to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? How? Mario Kart 8 is a better game. It is a better game. It's a better experience. I don't understand how. Again, I guess the only thing that I could say about Mario Kart 64 winning is, again, a lot of these people had an N64. So they played the 64 and they didn't play the new Mario Karts, and they still play these old N64 games today. That is just the way that this is going. A lot of these games, a lot of the older games are winning because the fact that people played them. Very strange for me. Very strange. Because I've been playing games since I was like 3. 2 or 3. No, not 2. Probably like 3 or 4. And this is wild. Wild that Mario Kart 8 would lose versus Mario 64. Now, 100% agree with Diddy Kong Racing versus Wave Racer. Diddy Kong Racing is way better than Wave Racer. But here's the thing, is what is better between Mario Kart 64 and Diddy Kong Racing? I would say it's actually Diddy Kong Racing. I think Diddy Kong Racing is more fun than Mario Kart 64. Even though I played way more Mario Kart 64 back in the day. But Diddy Kong Racing, you can fly, you can go in the water, you can have a car. It had like a little story mode that wasn't just a Grand Prix. It had like an open world. It was I think it was very well made. I think that Diddy Kong Racing actually wins over Mario Kart 64 here. Now, if Mario Kart 8 was in there, Diddy Kong Racing walked so MK8 could run. For a split second, I thought when you said MK, you were thinking Mortal Kombat 8, and I was like, excuse me? But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yes, I would agree with that, because at some points you can go underwater and you can fly in the air and all of the and all the like bibs and bobs that, you know, Mario Kart 8 has. Also, Diddy Kong Racing was made after Mario Kart 64, so they took a lot. Since it's both Nintendo brand, right? They don't have to like No, I didn't. But it's funny to think of like Diddy Kong like doing the thing that he does in Smash Ultimate, where he flings himself towards the target, getting on his face, and then doing Mortal Kombat 8 like X-ray moves and like digging his hands into his face and pulling out bananas or something like that. That's weird and visceral. I guess I don't know where my mind is at. But in terms of these two games, I think Diddy Kong Racing should win. Will it win? Again, age of voters and stuff. Will it win? I don't know. But I think Diddy Kong Racing should win. More people have played Mario Kart 64 than they played Diddy Kong Racing. All I'll say is that. So next we had Super Mario Odyssey versus 64. And we had Super Mario Sunshine versus Galaxy. Super Mario Odyssey versus 64, I would also probably go with 64. I liked Odyssey, don't get me wrong. And Odyssey was a lot of fun, and it has a lot of replayability and a lot of strategy. Super Mario Odyssey is full of strategy, and that's why there's so many moons. There's so many things to collect, right? But Super Mario 64 was like the thing that put almost the 64 on the map, and it started a whole genre, like a whole genre. Banjo-Kazooie and Jak and Daxter and I'm trying to remember the other one that I was thinking of. Nah, I don't remember. But like I understand why Super Mario 64 won. I would have probably picked Super Mario 64 over Odyssey as well. That's me. So that totally deserves a win. Now, am I upset? Conker's Bad Fur Day? Yup. Same thing. Yes. That'd be part of it. Spyro, Crash, yes, all of that. Yes, I agree with all of that. Super Mario Sunshine losing is a heartbreak. Actual heartbreak. But that's because it's my favorite. It's my favorite Mario game, a 3D Mario game of all time. However, Galaxy does deserve to win. It is a better game. It is a more fleshed out game. It's a game that doesn't require you to understand your friend, quote unquote, like Flood. You have to understand Flood to play Sunshine. You cannot just play traditional Mario in Sunshine and beat the game. You have to understand how Flood works. Super Mario Galaxy is a Mario game. Strict Mario. It's got new rules, sure, but it is a Mario game where you jump, you ground pound, you pick up coins, you roll, right? So I understand why Galaxy won over Sunshine. Does my heart hurt? Yeah, it hurts. What wins between Super Mario Galaxy and 64? If this is going any way between the or if the pattern and the trend continues in this thing, Galaxy, and it's not even close, that's totally fine. No, I know that people don't like Sunshine. Between Galaxy and Super Mario 64. If the trend continues, again, people have played Super Mario 64. And I don't think that people can really compete with Super Mario 64 in a Mario game. Galaxy is incredible. It's a fantastic title, but people are not nostalgic for Galaxy. People are nostalgic for 64, and people are nostalgic for Sunshine. I think Super Mario 64 will win based on nostalgia factor, but also, do I think it's an actually better game? I think it is a more confined game, which makes it more accessible. Super Mario Galaxy has a shit ton of stuff. I mean, like a ton. It was the power washing sim before power washing. 100%. You hated Sunshine because... Oh, you hated Sunshine, but you can see why people like it? Yeah. Again, I think that the reason why I didn't click with everybody is because it requires you to... Not to say that, like, people can't, adapt, but it's not your traditional Mario game. It's just like Super Mario Bros. 2, where it's not your traditional Mario game. It wasn't made to be a Mario game. It was made to be something else. And Super Mario Sunshine... It has this entire extra like economy is what the word I want to use, where Flood is its own character, own moves, own skill set, and you have to be adept with Flood. But yeah, so we're talking about Super Mario Galaxy versus 64. 64 will probably win just because of the way that this entire tournament is going. I assume it will win. We move on. Let's see. It was Super Mario Brothers 1 versus Super Mario Brothers 2. Again, we talked about 2 being not a Mario game, but a different game altogether. And the original Super Mario Brothers. I think it's just too well known, and people actually don't like Super Mario Brothers 2 because it's not a Mario game. So that makes sense why Super Mario Bros. 1 won. And then Super Mario Bros. 3 versus Super Mario Land. Actually, a lot of people didn't play Super Mario Land because it was on the Game Boy, and a lot of people didn't get Game Boys. And when I say a lot of people, I mean more people got an SNES than they got a Game Boy. And Super Mario Bros. 3 with the Tanuki, like, it's just, again, it's another game that is very well... Dude... Sancho, I watched you play Super Mario Bros. 2 for hours and hours and hours on end speedrunning it. It was awesome. I loved that. It was so much fun. Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually my favorite Mario, my side-scrolling Mario game of all time. So that's just me. You get a freaking rocket ship. What's not to like? Super Mario Bros. 3 versus Super Mario Bros. Land. Yeah, Super Mario 3 is, I think, the one I would have picked. And then here, between Super Mario Bros. Original and Super Mario Bros. 3, I'm gonna go the other way with this one. I think better game, Super Mario Bros. 3. It's just got more stuff. Got more stuff, more things. It's, and it is like generally liked by a lot of the community. People who liked Super Mario Bros. 1 liked Super Mario Bros. 3, even with all the added stuff. OG win nostalgia vote. Yep. See, that's what I'm saying is I think that Super Mario Bros. Original will win. But I think that Mario Bros. 3 is a better game. We had was it back here? Yeah, here we go. Mario Party 1 versus Mario Party 2. Looks like Mario Party 1 won. And then this was Bomberman 64 versus Bomberman GB, like Game Boy, the one on Game Boy. He put that one just so that Bomberman would have something to compete against. Nobody played Bomberman on the Game Boy. I'm sorry. I played Bomberman on the Game Boy, and he played Bomberman on the Game Boy, but nobody else played Bomberman on the Game Boy. So obviously Bomberman 64 would win because nobody knows what the other one is. Jesse, don't you at me right now. I loved Bomberman on the Game Boy. Don't get me. Don't do that. I'm an old man, okay? I'm an old man. Slide your copy back under your... How do so many people in this chat play fucking Bomberman GB? People didn't play Bomberman GB back in the day. It sold crap. It finally sold with Bomberman Land. Like, even Bomberman 64 didn't sell. Bomberman Land sold in Japan. Look, I'll high five you too, okay? I still got my copy somewhere. But the big upset for me here is freaking Mario Party versus Mario Party 2. I think Mario Party 2 should have won. Mario Party 2 is just better than Mario Party in every way. But again, I guess the nostalgia vote, people played Mario Party 1 and didn't get the second one or whatever. Mario Party 2 should have won in every way. It's a better game. It's better all around. It's got better multiplayer. It's got better mini games. It's got better boards. It's got more fun. It's got more this and more that and more items. And it's got a space level and a cowboy level. And everybody likes to be a cowboy, you know? Like, crazy. Grew up in a poor family and used to get discount games at boot. Oh yeah, at boot sale. So exactly. That's what I'm saying is like the super obscure stuff like Bomberman GB. Like, how many people play Bomberman GB? Again, the three of us. Cool. I'm glad we played it. But yeah, Mario Party 1 versus Bomberman 64. Again, these are two different kind of games. Hard to pit them against each other, but we're doing it anyway. I think that more people will pick more people will pick Mario Party 1. Yeah, in the Oh, yeah, I guess so. I guess there was a lot of rampant, what's it called? Fake games and stuff. Yeah. So Mario Party 1 versus 64. I think Mario Party 1 will win because more people will know Mario Party than they do know Bomberman, especially with the new Mario Party that just came out that rehashed all of the stuff. I really like Bomberman. I always have liked Bomberman, but I think that Mario Party is just has this like Mario Party just has this like charm that it's always had. And I think that Mario Party 1 will win. And do I think it should win? I think it beats Bomberman. As much as I love Bomberman, like Mario Party is just a game where you get your friends together and play. And is it a better game? maybe not, but is it more of a game that you'd play with people and have better memories of? I have more memories of Mario Party 1 than I do of Bomberman 64. So Bomberman. Mario Party. Then we had, I think it was Perfect Dark versus GoldenEye. Yep, Perfect Dark versus GoldenEye. GoldenEye won, as I expected. And Super Metroid versus Metroid Prime. I think I picked Metroid Prime. I think I picked Metroid Prime in the previous video. So this ended up being almost exactly what I expected. What will win? I think, again, the nostalgia is just too powerful with people. So GoldenEye will probably win, right? And GoldenEye right now is in the public eye as well because it's getting remade for the 360. Sorry, 360 for the Xbox. And it's also getting re-released on the Switch if you have the N64 thing. The N64, like, downloader. So I think that probably GoldenEye will win. But I personally like Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 more than I liked GoldenEye. Again, this is another thing of like GoldenEye will probably win because of the voter base. And by the way, I'm just gonna quickly here, hold on, Instagram. And here we go. I'm just going to throw this back in the chat. If you guys would like to vote, you can go vote here. I think you have to be on mobile to vote. Yeah. But, I mean, if you'd like to vote and sway in our favor of the games that we think that actually should win, then you can vote there. GoldenEye versus Metroid Prime. I, again, think that GoldenEye will win. However, Metroid Prime is my favorite, so I would pick Metroid Prime. Though GoldenEye, again, slappers only. Like, I really love slappers only. Then we had, I think it was Halo Reach versus Halo 3. And we had Gears of War 1 versus Gears of War 2. I think both of them are hard, right? I think both of them are hard. I think, again, I picked Halo 3 to win, but I picked it to win because it was the end of a saga that people had played through the whole saga. Halo, if we are talking multiplayer only, Halo Reach would win. If we're talking single player only, probably Halo 3. But Halo Reach is a solid multiplayer. A solid single player. And Halo 3 has an absolutely solid multiplayer. Tech knows what he's talking about because Tech plays Halo games professionally. And Tech, don't say that you don't play professionally because you won money. And anything that you win money from, you play professionally. So there you go. Yeah, Halo 3 did a lot for a lot of people. The ability to play online co-op, the ability to play split screen co-op, to play multiplayer and stuff. I know you heard already. I know you. And then I think that, again, you're playing the end. Like, Halo 3 was such a big pivotal moment for a lot of people in gaming because it was the end of an era. It was an end of a saga. You played Halo 1 and 2 for this huge payoff that happens in Halo 3. And Halo 3 is, like, embedded in people's minds, right? Halo Reach came out, and it was the start. It was the prequel, right? So I think that might be why that Halo 3 took the cake. I will say that, again, if we were just talking about, like, the general gaming populace, I think, and people who played the Halo games progressively, I think Halo Reach actually would have won because Halo Reach is like a fan favorite. It's more fan favorite than any other game. Halo Reach has been the fan favorite than any other Halo game, generally speaking. But this is like, in this player base, it'd be, you know, people who started with Halo 1, played Halo 2 and Halo 3, right? Gears of War 1 beat out Gears of War 2. Which is interesting. Gears of War 2 is actually my favorite of the entire series. But I think more people played Gears of War 1 than... Yeah, Reach was fun online and a great story, but that was before 343 took over, yeah. And you mean you're biased because Reach and ODST are by far your favorite Halo games? Go back and play ODST. It doesn't hold up. Not at all. Reach 100% holds up. Don't you worry. But yeah, I really like Gears of War 2. Gears of War 2 is my favorite of the entire series. It's grandiose, it's big and broad. But I also played it last year. Doesn't hold up. Does not hold. The best part of that game is Cat getting shot in the brain. Wait, that's Reach. That's the wrong one. My mistake. I'm wrong. Best part of Reach is Cat getting shot in the brain. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I know. But Gears of War 1 was like where the scene started with the cover-based shooter. A lot of cover-based shooters are known because of Gears of War, and the active reload system was primarily started by Gears of War. The amount of times that Cat drove me off a cliff in the car is uncountable. Uncountable. What do I think will win here? Probably Halo 3. I think Halo 3 will win. I'm a big Gears of War fan. I'm a big Gears of War nerd. I have back here, I think you can see up there, I have a Lancer and a bunch of stuff. I did let the AI drive. I did. It was my fault. All my fault. What do I think will win? Probably Halo 3 will win. And again, for me, what's my favorite game would probably... Oh, that's so hard because I got an original Xbox specifically for Gears of War. Army of Two was better than any Gears of War. I would hard disagree about that. However, I wouldn't say that it was a bad game because I enjoyed Army of Two and I really enjoyed the aggro system. I thought that was really cool, where one person can draw all the aggro and stuff. But that game is not good. Not good. You actually have a stream planned in November where you stream all the Halo games except for ODST? Why? I understand Wars and Wars 2, but why not ODST? It's part of the Master Chief Collection. I suspect that this will be Gears of War 3 that will win. Sorry, Gears of War 3. I think that Halo 3 will win against Gears of War 1. Didn't like health packs? Well, I don't think a lot of people liked health packs. But yeah, so Halo 3 will probably win. Honestly, for me, better game, probably Halo 3, sadly. I think Halo 3 is a better game. But if we're pitting Halo 3 versus Gears of War 3, I would pick Gears of War 3. Counter-Strike versus Modern Warfare. So we had Modern Warfare versus Black Ops. I specifically asked him to do Black Ops 2, but he didn't listen to me. He put Black Ops 1, which I think is why it lost to Black Ops 2. Don't get me wrong, I love Modern Warfare. I would have, if it were me picking games, it'd probably be Modern Warfare for me. But Black Ops 2 should have won. But it did not. Because people know Modern Warfare. People don't know Black Ops 1. Not a lot of people played Black Ops 1. They played Black Ops 2 because it had zombie mode. But so we have Modern Warfare 1 versus Black Ops. Which is interesting. Could that be because Modern Warfare got a remaster recently? Could that be because, again, the player base just, saw Call of Duty and just picked one at random? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think Black Ops 2 would win out of any other Call of Duty game. I think Black Ops 2 would win, or the new one, Warzone. But again, this is older crowd, right? So Modern Warfare's story is far better than any other story in any other Call of Duty game. However, Black Ops Zombies and Black Ops multiplayer cannot be discounted because it's all part of the game. We're talking about Black Ops 2 multiplayer and zombies. We're talking about the game as a whole, right? Modern Warfare only had the single player and the multiplayer, the online multiplayer. It didn't have the Spec Ops mode. It didn't have any of those games or any zombies or any endless mode or anything like that. It was just the game and the multiplayer. Black Ops 1 didn't have zombies. If I remember correctly, I don't think Black Ops 1 had zombies. Or did it have zombies? I don't think it had zombies. Because I think World at War was after Black Ops 1. And then it started the zombies, then they all got zombies. Though I do remember Black Ops 1 having it had a top-down shooter that you could play. You could get out of the chair and play Zorbs or something. Zorbs, I think was what it was called. But yeah, I think that if this was labeled Black Ops 2, I think Black Ops 2 would have won. But since it's labeled Black Ops 1, it lost. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, and then it was Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike versus what? I don't remember. It's Counter-Strike versus Half-Life. So again, a multiplayer game versus single player. I would also agree. Maybe if it was Half-Life 2, sure, but this says Half-Life. It's the first game. I am not surprised, I guess. Plus the amount of people that play Counter-Strike, and how Counter-Strike Go is still happening today. Like it's, again, another important title. So we'll go back real quick to this one. So what do I think will win out of Counter-Strike and Call of Duty? Call of Duty. It's fucking Call of Duty. It'll win. Just because it's Counter-Strike, I mean, it's Call of Duty. Call of Duty will win. Counter-terrorist win. Then we had... Oh, this was a big one, actually. I wanted him to put this... Even though they are apples and oranges, I wanted him to pit Fortnite versus League of Legends. But he spelled Legends wrong. Did he spell it correctly here? He did. He respelled it. Nice job, bro. I still need to clip me just face palming on this one. This was very funny. So it was Fortnite versus League of Legends. I expected League of Legends to win as well because League of Legends is just so it is the number one known game. Like Fortnite and League of Legends are the both number one known games on planet Earth right now. Just because they're so worldwide and so League of Legends is competitive. And Fortnite is the metaverse, right? Everybody's in Fortnite. Your mom's in Fortnite. Zack Snyder's in Fortnite. Star Wars is in Fortnite. Naruto's in Fortnite. So same thing, yeah. The pro scene's huge. So I understand that League of Legends won. And then Valorant versus Overwatch. I also understand why Overwatch won. As much as people like Valorant, it's not Overwatch, right? It's just not. It's Counter-Strike. It's more Counter-Strike than it is Overwatch. So I totally get that Overwatch won. And between League of Legends and Overwatch, League will win. It will. Miku is not in Fortnite yet. Just you wait. So will Len. Len will also be in Fortnite. But in Fall Guys, yep, true. Speaking of which, Fall Guys is not part of this list. Yep, League wins here. Yeah, League I think will win. Even though I think it'll be pretty competitive, but League will win. And as much as I don't like either company. I don't like Riot and I don't like Blizzard. But if one of them is gonna come out on top, it'll probably be League. You hate Valorant because it doesn't support controller? Well, it's so twitchy. Valorant is such a twitch game, right? Same goes with Rainbow Six Siege as well, which, by the way, I don't think Siege is on this list either. Heartbroken about that one. But League of Legends will win, is my guess. Let's see. Rocket League versus Need for Speed Underground. I think this was Rocket League versus Apex Legends. Rocket League, there's nothing like Rocket League out there, right? Like Rocket League's in a world of its own. It's competitive, it's fun, kids can play it. And Apex is another, like, one of the, you know, the battle royale shooters, right? And I get that Apex Legends is, like, really popular, very popular, but Rocket League is also just kind of crazy popular. Like, just because it's so simplistic and stuff, like, it's popular. So I'm almost not surprised. I would say I would say. Dear Lord. Don't laugh at me. Yeah, there's nothing quite like Rocket League. I don't think there's anything out there quite like Rocket League, and that's why I think it makes a name for itself. And it's crazy fun. I mean, if you haven't played Rocket League, do yourself a favor and play 1 or 2 matches of the free. I think they have like a light version where you can just play like free random games or something like that. Play Rocket League. Try it out. It's well worth your time. And then I think it was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 versus Need for Speed Underground. I knew Need for Speed Underground would win. It's just a newer version of Need for Speed, like, than Hot Pursuit 2. And Hot Pursuit 2, the only reason why it's in there again is like the main thing is the although I don't know if you're tripping, but there's a camera and audio desync. Yeah, just refresh. It should work fine if you refresh. Yeah. My phone does that too, especially if I'm on another app, it'll just slowly desync. So yeah. But Need for Speed Underground versus Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, I knew that Underground would win. Underground is kind of the most known Need for Speed game. Cool. I'm glad that it's working now. So Rocket League versus Need for Speed Underground. Honestly, I would go Rocket League. I would totally go Rocket League here. As much as I love Need for Speed Underground, Rocket League is just so... It's so good and so much fun. And I don't think I ever had that fun in another kind of car game. That even includes like Twisted Metal, which was on this list as well. And even like Mario Kart. Like, I had so much more fun in Rocket League than any other car game, I think. So I think Rocket League should win and will win. But again, if we're taking into account like this, the voter base, who's to say, man? Who's to say? They may not even know what either of these are. Maybe that's how Rocket League won, is that people don't know what either of these are. That'd be interesting. I feel like I'm the old man who shouts that cloud thing. The next one we have was Minecraft versus Sims. I think it was further along. Sims versus Roller Coaster Tycoon. We knew that was going to happen. We gotta play Halo sometime. Dude, you don't even want to deal with me in a shooter. You don't want that, man. As me in a Twitch shooter, just wait till you see me play. I'm going to be picking up Rainbow Six Siege in the probably coming months or so to play with my friends. But I'm not good. Not good at Twitch shooters. Same goes for Halo. Halo's rough for me. But we had Sims beat Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think that was an easy win. You're damn right, you Carrie. I think that was an easy win. I think Sims is just too well known. So that would make sense. And then it was Minecraft versus... What was Minecraft? What was Minecraft? Minecraft versus SimCity. Again, that's another one that I figured Minecraft would win. I think that's pretty interesting. Last shooter you were good at was Duck Hunt. I bet there's one out there that you were good at. Everybody misses Roller Coaster Tycoon. But yeah, okay. So Minecraft versus Sim series. Honestly, this one's really tough actually, because both of them are really, really good at what they do. The Sims is very, very good at being a fun simulator where you get to build your own house and, you know, live out the life that you wish you had with the money you wish you had. And Minecraft is the build anything, do anything, go anywhere thing, right? You think Minecraft wins by just a hair? I would also agree. I think Minecraft would win by like 10% of the votes. I think it would be a 60-40 here. I think The Sims as a series is so impactful. But Minecraft is Minecraft. It's hard to deny Minecraft. Minecraft is great for kids. It's great for adults. It's and when I say great, I mean it's like the variety that you can do in Minecraft is so I'm trying to come up with the word, but it's very hard for me. I think that just like the amount of versatility that Minecraft has as opposed to Sims has, depends on how deeply voters get into Minecraft. True. I mean, people get into Sims too. People have lives in the Sims, right? Like they play it real time. They spend years in Sims and stuff, and you know, people also like build castles and like, have you seen like the guys that built what did they build? They built Disneyland. They built all of Disneyland in Minecraft. How fucking cool is that? Jesse had a Sims blog, for God's sake. Like, people are really into either. They're really into both. The ones who are on one side are usually on one side here. What do I think will win? I think Minecraft will win because Minecraft is Minecraft. Minecraft has a name for itself. Minecraft is known by everybody, their father, their mother, their grandparents, and their children, right? Like everybody knows Minecraft. Not to say that everybody doesn't know The Sims, because everybody doesn't know The Sims. Did you know, by the way, also The Sims was going to get a movie? It had 2 writers on it before they scrapped it. How interesting is that for your tidbit of information? Did you know Minecraft also has a movie on Netflix? It was like the Minecraft Adventure or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Minecraft is a friendly for all ages. And Sims kind of loses. Isn't every movie basically an episode from The Sims? Every sitcom you've ever watched is actually made first in The Sims, and then is they do all of the boxing, like the blocking in The Sims, and then they, you know, have actors do it. They just say don't do the Simlish. Yeah, but Minecraft will probably win here. The Truman Show, very close, yeah. God, I love that movie. Truman, come back. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Let's see. We have Tetris versus Snake, which I think we had Snake versus Oregon Trail, and we had Tetris versus Pong. Totally right. Exactly what I thought would win. And I think Tetris will win. And I think Tetris should win. Tetris is versatile. Tetris has 1 billion different copies of it. Tetris is the most sold, most purchased game of any video game ever. Oregon Trail took imagination. For the Oregon Trail to be on the list, I may have suggested Oregon Trail. I don't know. I think Oregon Trail like belongs on the list because it's been updated so many times. It's so good. And there's also an Oregon Trail, like your organs. That's a zombie one, which is really cool. I really like that one. But I do think Tetris will win here. I think Tetris is more well known, and I think Tetris is a better game. And Snake was a game you played on your phone, like here. But it is, yeah. Oregon Trail is niche. Yeah, I know. There were a handful of games that I suggested just because I thought you can't pit Snake versus like, versus, I don't know, like what's the game of the day today? You can't put like Snake versus like Inscription, right? You just can't do that. You have to have Snake versus something, and I figured that Oregon Trail was close. I wish I had put Micheep's Catch or something like that, which is the version of Snake from if you guys remember, Neopets had a snake. You haven't lived unless you've died of dysentery. That's fucking funny. That's really funny. That's a quote. That's what you slap on the back of the box right there. That's what you slap on the back of the box. But yeah, I put in games like Snake and Oregon Trail only because they needed games to go against. Something needed to go against Snake, and I put Oregon Trail. That's why my brother put Wave Racer 64 and stuff like that, which there are other racing games that you could have put in the list. But, you know, whatever. But yeah, so Tetris versus Snake, Tetris will win. My favorite one is Tetris, is it Evolution? I don't remember. It's on the 360. Had a cool backgrounds. Oh, and then Tetris 99. That's the other one. Competitive Tetris. Then we have the South Park Stick of Truth versus Space Invaders. So Defender lost against Space Invaders. I think that was obvious. I think Space Invaders would blow Space Invaders and Millipede, Centipede, and Galactica. I think they would. They'd win the like old Atari era. And then I think South Park: The Stick of Truth was versus Galaga. There you go, Galaga. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I think it was South Park: The Stick of Truth versus South Park 64, and obviously the Stick of Truth would win. I think the Stick of Truth should have won. But now you have Space Invaders versus South Park: The Stick of Truth. What is a better game? Was a better game? Well, I mean, it's South Park. The Stick of Truth is an RPG with 1,000 different concepts in it. Space Invaders has 2 concepts. Don't get hit and hit your enemy. Dude, it just says Space Invaders. This one I couldn't tell you. I can't advise. My assumption would be it'd be the game because it's versing another game instead of a series. I assume that South Park will probably win, but Space Invaders is like a cult, you know, like not cult, but you know, people like Space Invaders, right? Like people grew up with Space Invaders in the arcade and stuff. So I'm gonna go with what I think will win, probably Space Invaders. What I think should win, probably South Park. As what is a better game? South Park. As a game, because it is a game, right? We're talking about what is a better game. So, move along. Let's see. Pokemon Red Blue Yellow versus Pokemon Stadium. So I think it was Pokemon Red Blue Yellow versus Black and White. I assumed that Red Blue and Yellow would win. Well, it's crass, but it's a very good RPG. Yep, I agree. It's very crass. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow versus Pokemon Black and White. Black and White was robbed. Well, Black and White was robbed, but I put that on the list, right? I told him when he asked me what would go against Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, I would say that Pokemon Black and White would. It was the biggest one. It was so big they made Black and White 2, right? So that's why I thought that it would be very competitive. And I'm sure it was. I wish I could see the percentages here, but I can't. But Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, it won. It's nostalgia, right? And then this one, Pokemon Stadium, we're gonna have a little talk, a small talk, because we had this talk last time. We had Pokemon Stadium versus Pokemon Snap. That's what Pokemon Stadium was up against Pokemon Snap. Yes, you heard that correctly. They're two different games. Just you wait. There's another insane one later down the road. I promise you. You'll flip your lid. But Pokemon Stadium won. I assumed that Pokemon Stadium would win. Yeah, I know Coliseum was there. Yes, I know. My brother never played Coliseum. That's the problem. My brother played Stadium. Like, my brother played all these 64 games that are here. He played them all. He was going to put Space Station Silicon Valley in this list. He and I are the only people that played that game. I swear to God. But Pokemon Stadium 1, it makes sense because it is a Pokemon game. It's not a game with the gimmick of Pokemon. It is a Pokemon game. Pokemon Stadium is a Pokemon game. It makes sense. What is a better game between Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow and Pokemon Stadium? I would say Red, Blue, and Yellow because it has a story that you go through the different towns and fight different bosses and stuff. Pokemon Stadium, you don't walk, right? You just have your Pokemon. You can even upload them from your Red, Blue, and Yellow. I 100% agree. The Pokemon Stadium minigames is where Pokemon Stadium shines, in my opinion. Especially the two particular games, the Fish Flop and the Lickitung Sushi game. Those two games alone probably beat a lot of games on this list. But as a game as a whole versus Pokemon as a whole, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow will probably win this. Probably. Moving on. Dance Dance Revolution versus Guitar Hero. I think it was Guitar Hero versus Rock Band. Guitar Hero won. I assumed Guitar Hero would win. I assumed Guitar Hero would win out of Rock Band because Guitar Hero always had the better songs that people related to more. Rock Band had Say It Ain't So. And Sweater by Weezer. Beatles Rock Band is probably the best Rock Band game out there, in my opinion. Guitar Hero had, World Tour and Aerosmith and Green Day. And a bunch of other cool stuff. I just think that Guitar Hero is also more known. Lego Rock Band, yep. Lego Rock Band's a good one too. So that makes sense to me that Guitar Hero would win. I think it was Dance Dance Revolution versus... Oh yeah, there you go. Pokemon Snap versus Pokemon Stadium. Dance Dance Revolution versus Just Dance. I think Just Dance is a better game, but more people know Dance Dance Revolution. More people have seen it in an arcade and stuff. And again, I think that a lot of people here, Beat Saber is against something else. It was Beat Saber versus Pistol Whip. That's what the other one was, which Beat Saber will win. But yeah, Dance Dance Revolution versus Just Dance. I think Just Dance is a better game, in my opinion. But Dance Dance Revolution is the cult classic and the culture around it and the arcades and everything like that. So I totally agree with Dance Dance Revolution as a win. We're gonna go back to where we were at. There we go. That's where we're at. But what wins versus Dance Dance Revolution and Guitar Hero? I'd probably go with Guitar Hero. Though Dance Dance Revolution will probably win. DDR is more fun if you have the mat. Yeah. I mean, DDR is fun. Even at an arcade, DDR is fun. Guitar Hero is more accessible, and I think more people had access to Guitar Hero and friends had access to Guitar Hero than people had access to Dance Dance Revolution. And I think that is where Guitar Hero is gonna win. Because DDR is great. People fucking love DDR. I mean, that's where all those songs came from. Did a butterfly in the sky? Ay. Like, you know, all those songs. And what was that? Hey, yo, Captain Jack. Hey, yo, Captain Jack. Bring me back to the railroad track. Bring me back to the railroad track. All those songs were all DDR songs, right? And that's where people know those songs from. But Guitar Hero, again, is like the birth of Vocaloid. Was it? It's definitely the Eurobeat culture. Clone Hero is a great game right now. You have access to so many songs. Yeah. Yep. Songs are again. It's important about what songs are in your game, and I think Guitar Hero will win. Out of Dance Dance Revolution. Though Dance Dance Revolution, again, like people play it all over the place. Batman's Arkham City versus Silent Hill. So we had Batman, Arkham City versus Asylum. I did say Arkham City will win. Arkham City was. Yep, even Led Zeppelin. No Stairway to Heaven, though. Oh, you're talking about Clone Hero has Led Zeppelin. That's so cool. DDR was your gateway to synth pop. Yeah, DDR was wildly popular for people. So, Batman Arkham Asylum versus City. I said City would win. City is actually my favorite of the entire Arkham saga, as well as Arkham Knight. No, not Arkham Knight. So I mean, I assumed that Arkham City would win. It's just it's got more, and being in this open space and being Batman is so much better, in my opinion, than being in a closed space being Batman. Which in Arkham Asylum, you are in this, like, you know, pretty close space. And then Silent Hill beat Dead Space. I assumed as much because Silent Hill has, like, again, another, it's like a cult following to it. So I understand why Silent Hill beat it, even though I like Dead Space way more than Silent Hill. I actually don't like any Silent Hill game, not a single one. Didn't enjoy any of them. PT was about as interested as I wanted to get in the Silent Hill series. I played The Room. I watched a playthrough of 2. I played The Room. And I played Homecoming. And then I also watched somebody play Silent Hill Downpour. But in general, I don't like the Silent Hill series, but I knew it would win. Dead Space, same deal. Like, I love Dead Space, but I understand why I lost. If Dead Space 3 wasn't so badly reviewed, yeah, you know, I'll just say, like, Dead Space 3 for me, like, the best part of it was the multiplayer. Playing it with 2 people was so much fun. Yeah, Silent Hill just, you know, Silent Hill does the Silent Hill thing. What will win Silent Hill versus Batman? Probably Silent Hill is my guess. It's a series, Silent Hill series versus Batman Arkham City single game. You're pitting the best of Silent Hill versus like, in my opinion, the best of Batman. Silent Hill will probably win. Got more nostalgia. No, those games don't hold up. They're bad. They're bad games. They're badly designed, and they were. It's so funny because, like, people are saying that, like, Resident Evil 1 is badly designed, and Silent Hill took after Resident Evil 1. In my opinion, Resident Evil 1 is designed fine, totally fine. Silent Hill is not well designed. It's not well designed. But yeah, so I think Silent Hill will probably win, even though I think Batman Arkham City is a better game. We had Resident Evil 1 versus Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 1. My only assumption that Resident Evil 2 1 is because of the remake that just came out with Resident Evil 2. And the picture here is of the remake and not the original. Right? The reason why I like City is the exact reason why you don't like City. You like here. Yeah. I think that a lot more people enjoyed City because you were Batman in an open space. And the claustrophobia that you had really added to the scenes in Arkham Asylum, which is why Arkham Asylum is the only spooky game out of the entire group. The rest of them are all action games. Arkham Asylum is actually a spooky game. It's like, I wouldn't say horror, I'd say spooky because it has spooky parts. But yeah, but I mean, if I wanted to be Batman, like I want to be Batman, flying through the city, Cape Crusader, type thing. So that's just me. Yeah, that's the part people didn't like. Yeah, I gotcha. Resident Evil 1 versus Resident Evil 2. Again, Resident Evil 2 1 because, in my opinion, he put the picture of the new Resident Evil 2, which I think a lot more people played. I wish he had put like OG Resident Evil 1 versus OG Resident Evil 2, but whatever. I understand why Resident Evil 1 lost because again, it's newer, more in the people's eye right now. What would I have picked? I picked Resident Evil 1, I think. I really like Resident Evil 2 versus Final Fantasy 7 memes. So with the remakes, yeah. But Resident Evil 1 was my jam. I love Resident Evil 1, so. And get it, jam, because Jill was going to be a Jill sandwich. Turned into Jill and jam. And then Resident Evil 4 beat Resident Evil 7. I saw that come in a mile away. Resident Evil 7, I feel like, had a chance, but again, with the demographic that we're playing with here, Resident Evil 4 is more well done. What wins between Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2? I think Resident Evil 4 will win. I think Resident Evil 4 will win, and I'm really excited for the new Resident Evil 4 that's coming out. I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited for it, but I think Resident Evil 4 will win. Kingdom Hearts 1 versus Final Fantasy 7. So Kingdom Hearts 1 beat Kingdom Hearts 2. Which is what I assumed. I assumed that Kingdom Hearts 1 will beat 2, even though I believe that 2 is a better game. Robbed. Yeah, again, another robbed. Yes, I understand. But I believe that Kingdom Hearts 2 is a better game than 1, but 1 is the one that people played the more. People played 1 more than 2. People like hanging out with the old style of Donald and Goofy and what? Yes. I understand. 2 is better and it's not even close. Yes, I agree. 2 is better. But 1 has like all of the worlds that, people reside with, and people again have a soft spot for Kingdom Hearts 1 and not as much of a soft spot like when things got more complicated in Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, look, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, period, including all the side banter stuff. Which is funny, because the next game in my list is Chain of Memories, and people fucking hated Chain of Memories. People fucking hated Chain of Memories, so, but I like Chain of Memories. But yeah, so I understand that Kingdom Hearts 2 lost, just because it's a popular vote, right? It's not... This is very much based on nostalgia. This entire group is based on nostalgia. So, Kingdom Hearts 1, I understand why it won. Yeah. And you guys are having tea time. All right. And then we had Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 7 versus Final Fantasy 10. I said that 7 would win. Because again, it's just got more notoriety around it than Final Fantasy 10. I like the gameplay of Final Fantasy X more than 7. However, there is one particular thing I like in 7 more than 10. 7 has a mode, has 2 modes, has wait mode and has active mode. And I really, really like the active mode because it makes you think in real time. The enemy can attack you again if you're not fast enough at clicking your buttons. 7 is probably going to win the whole thing. I don't think so. I don't think 7 will win. I think it'll get beat by something. Even though I love Final Fantasy 7. Don't get me wrong. Love 7. But Final Fantasy 7 wins over 10. Again, I hate that he used the remake photo because remake and the regular game are so two different versions of the game. Same story, but the everything's different, right? But yeah, so here we have Kingdom Hearts 1 versus Final Fantasy 7. If you ask me, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 will win. I think it'll beat Final Fantasy 7. The cult following around Kingdom Hearts is too big. And what do I believe is a better game? A better RPG? That's actually really tough because Final Fantasy is a great RPG. And Final Fantasy is an amazing RPG. In terms of longevity and what lasts longer, I'd probably say Final Fantasy 7 lasts longer. No way it loses to Kingdom Hearts. I think Kingdom Hearts will beat it. Do I think that do I agree with that? No. I think Final Fantasy 7 should win. But will it win? No. I think Kingdom Hearts will win. For sure. Because think about it. All the people that voted for Kingdom Hearts 2 in this list are going to vote for Kingdom Hearts 1 afterward. Like, they're not going to switch to Final Fantasy. They will stay Kingdom Hearts 1. Those are the Kingdom Hearts people. Final Fantasy 7 was hard. It was hard. A lot of people didn't beat it. Freaking beating Diamond Weapon, like, I think only half the people that played the game beat Diamond Weapon, right? Like, it's wild. But yeah, so I think Kingdom Hearts 1 will win out of against Final Fantasy 7. I understand it is a cultural like phenomenon, Final Fantasy 7, right? And it is I don't know about being far beyond KH because Kingdom Hearts is a Disney game with Disney characters. Don't discount that. Disney is so popular. And the fact that you get to play with Donald and Goofy and the King Mickey, huge. People who didn't play video games played Kingdom Hearts so they could play in Disney worlds. Kingdom Hearts will win. Final Fantasy 7, in terms of a game, like Final Fantasy 7 should win, but Kingdom Hearts 1 will win. Maybe, I don't know. There's that you are right. I mean, a lot of people saw Cloud and was like, "Ooh, where's he from?" Or Sephiroth, and he goes, "Ooh, where's he from?" You know, and they find out the game, right? I mean, Aerith is barely in the game, but like Leon is more of a factor in the game than not. Moving on. We have Fallout series versus Skyrim, which is exactly what should have happened beforehand. These two should have been picked against each other to start with. Instead, we had BioShock versus Fallout, which of course Fallout's gonna win versus BioShock. I mean that this is a given. This is a given. I love BioShock. BioShock should win. I like BioShock. I love BioShock. But you're pitting Fallout versus BioShock? Insane. Crazy. It should have been, to start with Fallout versus Skyrim to start with. But then we have, what was the other one? I think it was Skyrim versus Unreal Tournament. Easy. Skyrim wins. Also, he shouldn't have put Unreal Tournament. He should have put Quake. That would have been the one that I would have put, is Quake. Quake is huge. Quake is a huge shooter that everybody... I mean, they have QuakeCon, for heaven's sake. Right? And Quake led the shooter genre. So, don't what me. You can what my brother. We'll go back to here. So now we have Fallout versus Skyrim. Yeah, I know, 2 super different games. Yep. Fallout versus Skyrim. Also, it shouldn't have been Skyrim, right? It shouldn't have been Skyrim. It should have been the Oblivion series, right? Or not Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls series. Fallout series, Elder Scrolls series. Because that would have also taken into account Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim and the other one, Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know. I think this one will be really tough. I don't think it'll just be Skyrim. I really think that a lot of people will pick the Fallout series because they like Fallout 3 or they like Fallout New Vegas or they liked Fallout 4. Like, a lot of people liked Fallout 4, even though I particularly didn't. But that's fine. Like, I don't need to like it. Right? But I did like Fallout New Vegas. I liked Fallout 3. Will Skyrim win? I think Skyrim is more well known, sure, but like Fallout has. I also feel like if you're going to pick Skyrim, yeah. I think Skyrim will probably win. Fallout is a series. I don't know. I mean, Fallout New Vegas is part of it. Yes, and it has a pick of New Vegas. Yes, I know. I get it. Okay. Again, I would love to have our own house tournament as well. And fully randomize it. Like, actually randomize the list. Then they'll all be 2 different games. Then you really have to think about what you like more in terms of your game. This is what it should have been to start with. It shouldn't have been BioShock. It should have been these 2. Because now BioShock's dead. In the water. Get it? Because you're under the water. That's so funny. What will win? BioShock? Or, sorry, Fallout versus Skyrim? Probably Skyrim. But I like Fallout more. I actually didn't like Skyrim. I didn't like any of the Elder Scrolls games. I didn't enjoy Oblivion, and I didn't enjoy Skyrim. But I really enjoyed most of the Fallout games, except for the very beginning of New Vegas. I didn't like the beginning of New Vegas, and I didn't like the end of Fallout 4. And that's that. So Skyrim will win. We have Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards versus Donkey Kong 64. I'm actually confused about this one. Because it was Kirby 64 versus Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, and I really thought that Dreamland would win. But it didn't win because N64 games are what people pick. We've just seen it. Super Smash Bros. Won against Melee. The only reason why that happens is because people like 64 stuff. I agree. So Kirby 64 is my favorite Kirby game. However, I understand that it is not the best Kirby game. I agree. I actually think that a better Kirby game is Nightmare in Dreamland, and the one on the Game Boy Advanced, not Squeak Squad. Maybe it was Nightmare in Dreamland on the Game Boy Advance. I don't remember. It was the one either on the Game Boy Advance or on the DS. I don't remember. One of them was better. But I guess again the nostalgia factor that people played Kirby 64. All of these people are again picking all the 64 titles. I understand that Kirby 64 won. Sure, I'm happy because my favorite title won, but this is, you can see how it's kind of skewed. And then Donkey Kong 64 went against Yoshi's Story. I knew that would win. I knew Donkey Kong would win. It's got the DK crew and the song, the DK song and stuff, right? I mean, I felt like that's very easily picked. Even though Donkey Kong 64 is actually a bad reviewed game. It's not. People don't like it. As they say, it's no Mario. It's no Mario 64. I don't think either of these games will last. I don't think either one will last. But if I don't know other me that's played Yoshi Story. I played Yoshi Story. My friends played Yoshi Story. I had a copy of Yoshi Story. But yeah, I like Yoshi Story. Did you know that there's a black Yoshi in there? It's a secret black Yoshi. I think Donkey Kong 64 will win. Just because the notoriety that Donkey Kong 64 has, plus the song, DK Crew song, I think that adds a lot to its winning factor. And then we have original Sonic vs. Sonic Adventure 2, original Sonic 1. That's what I expected was going to win, was original Sonic, even though I like, again, the parts that in Sonic, I only like parts of Sonic Adventure 2. I don't like the whole game. I really like the Shadow and Sonic levels, and I really like the Rouge and what's it called levels? Knuckles. Plus the Knuckles music is like my favorite music in almost any video game. So good. And then Mega Man 1 through 10 beat Mega Man X 1 through 6. Which is what I assumed. More people played Mega Man 1 through 10 than played X. So that makes sense. This is actually a great pit against each other because they're two classic games that are pretty tough in their own respective right. But I think that Sonic will win. I think Sonic will win because, again, notoriety, the amount of people that played Sonic games and beat and finished Sonic games as opposed to any of the Mega Man games. I have never, without cheats, finished any of the Mega Man games, 1 through 10. Because they're hard. I mean, they're hard games. They have a lot of really precise jumping. They have a lot of really hard enemies or patterns, and the bosses are very tough. And you always have to fight every boss twice. And Sonic is just kind of like Sonic, right? Well, Sonic, Mega Man's coming back because they re-released higher res versions of Mega Man, the Wily Wars, last year. So it's kind of coming back, but it's not like in full force. And Sonic is coming back in a big way with Sonic Frontiers. But again, it's not like a side-scroller Sonic like Generations is. So I think Sonic will win. Lego Star Wars versus Wii Sports. Mega Man Battle Network is my favorite Mega Man game of all time. When Battle Network gets re-released next year, I'm going to play through them all in quick succession. Not quick, but succession. I had Lego Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is my favorite Lego game, and a lot of people that I remember from GameStop, their favorite one was Lord of the Rings. But I didn't think it could beat Lego Star Wars at all, because Lego Star Wars has the whole 9 movies in it, right? And having 9 movies with so many varieties of characters and abilities, from being a droid to a lightsaber user to being a person with a blaster, right? It's like lots of variety. So I understand why that wins. And then it was Wii Sports versus Jackbox. I thought Wii Sports would win also, just because, again, everybody had a Wii and everybody had Wii Sports. And not everybody knows what Jackbox is or what the Jackbox games are. I bet if we had put Fibbage or something like that, I think it would have gotten more recognition because people know Fibbage or Jack Attack and the rest of those things. But Wii Sports will, yeah, Wii Sports. And then we'll go back to. Oops. There you go. So Lego Star Wars versus Wii Sports. Honestly, I think Wii Sports will win. I think more people know Wii Sports and stuff. I think that in terms of better game, that's hard because I think Wii Sports is actually a fantastic title. Lego Star Wars, they are also good, but I think Wii Sports is actually a better game than Lego Star Wars. That might seem weird because Wii Sports only has like a handful of sports in them. And I wish it had included Wii Sports Resort because then a lot more games are on the table. But I just think Wii Sports is just a better experience. I don't know. I like playing bowling and golf and tennis and yeah, I don't know. I really hated the boxing, but I liked everything else. I think Wii Sports will win. Borderlands 2 versus Assassin's Creed. I think it was Borderlands. I don't remember what Borderlands was versus, but it was Borderlands 2 versus Portal 2, and Borderlands 2 won. I think I had assumed that Portal 2 was gonna win. I think I had figured that Portal 2 was gonna win. Yeah, I know they're different games, but I think I assumed that more people would pick Portal 2. So that's kind of weird for me, that Portal 2 lost. So Borderlands is on there, Borderlands 2, and then it was Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2 versus Black Flag, which I think I assumed Assassin's Creed 2 would win. Also, he spelled it wrong. He spelled it correctly here. Spelled it wrong there. Portal 2 was robbed, though. Yeah, I agree. Again, like, it's hard. You'll see there's more robbing shortly, I'm sure. But yeah, I agree with Assassin's 2 winning Black Flag. And I think that Assassin's Creed... No, I think Borderlands 2 will probably win here. I think Borderlands 2 will probably win. As what's a better game? Honestly, probably... As much as I didn't like it, Borderlands 2 is actually probably a better game than Assassin's Creed 2. Interesting. I think this matchup will be very interesting. Again, a lot of them brought reiterations to the table after the first predecessor, and a lot of them added things into other games around that were different. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen here, but I assume that Borderlands 2 will win. All right, and then we had Prince of Persia versus Star Fox 64. I think I said that Prince of Persia would lose. I think I said Star Fox 64 would win, but Prince of Persia won. I like Prince of Persia. Don't get me wrong. I think they're both great games, but I don't think there was anything like Star Fox 2 out there, and there was a lot of games like Prince of Persia, so I figured that Prince of Persia would just get overshadowed by something else. But it's cool to see that Prince of Persia won, and to see that more people thought it was a better game than Star Fox. I think that's cool. I think that's great. It's a fun game. Don't get me wrong, fun game. And then here's the kicker. We had The Last of Us versus Destiny, which I am so happy that The Last of Us won. As much as I love Destiny, The Last of Us is in my top 10 games of all time. The multiplayer, the single player, the second game. Like, all of it is so well made, and what a gripping story. And so this particular matchup was very much against it was very much a game of story versus gameplay. Story, The Last of Us just has this very clear, very resounding story. Very interesting, intriguing story with a lot of moving parts, in my opinion. Destiny kind of has no story. Its story is kind of held together by gum and popsicle sticks, right? But the gameplay in Destiny is so pristine, so clean, feels so good. No matter what you're playing, like whenever you come back to Destiny, it always feels good. That, in my opinion, it always felt good. But I'm happy to say The Last of Us won. Thank you. Thank you, people, for picking the right thing. You didn't pick Melee, but you picked The Last of Us. I'm proud of you. But now we have the Prince of Persia versus Sands of Time versus Last of Us. I think Last of Us will win. Also, he put Last of Us series here, and now he put Last of Us, just Last of Us here. You should put series. You gotta put series. I think Last of Us will win. I think it'll be easy. I think it'll be easy win against Prince of Persia. That's me. Excuse me? So now we have Star Wars Episode 1 Racer versus Star Wars Fallen Order. Are you kidding me? I know what Fallen Order went up against, and I can't believe that it lost. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer versus Rogue Squadron. Again, this is another thing where I think more people know about Racer than they do about Rogue Squadron. And Racer is kind of a meme, right? It's just a meme game. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It was a great game. I played last year. I played it drunk. It was great and lots of fun. But Rogue Squadron is a better game. Just hands down. But I do like Racer, so I'm fine with Racer winning. Yes, no. Racer beat Rogue Squadron. Racer is going up against Fallen Order right now. But Fallen Order beat Knights of the Old Republic, which is strange. That to me is very strange. Now, I never finished Knights of the Old Republic, but I know how important that game is to the video game community, and I know how influential that was to a lot of different RPGs and almost D&D like games out there. I assumed that Knights of the Old Republic would win against Fallen Order. Yes, I agree. I assumed that Knights of the Old Republic would win against Fallen Order, but Fallen Order won. I will take it that Fallen Order won because it is newer, and the Knights of the Old Republic, newer players, newer gamers are not playing Knights of the Old Republic. It is dated. It feels dated. The game looks dated. People also might have also confused this with just the Old Republic. Star Wars The Old Republic, which is the online game. So maybe that's something? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so Fallen Order beat Knights of the Old Republic. So Star Wars Episode 1 Racer versus Fallen Order? I would say Fallen Order is a better game. Will Racer probably win because it's a 64 game? Yeah. All the 64 games seem to be winning except for one. So, but yeah, okay. So I assume that Racer will win due to, again, like, it's nostalgia. But Fallen Order, I believe, is a better game as a game goes. Bonus round. I may or may not add these winners of the bonus round to the main round after this. Interesting. So here's where we had like the weird, like different stuff. So Cuphead beat Metal Slug. I knew that it would. That's great. And Angry Birds was... What did Angry Birds beat? Angry Birds beat Plants vs. Zombies, which is what I assumed. Okay. That's totally fine. I want Cuphead to win this. I want it to win, but Angry Birds will probably win. Just the way it is. Angry Birds is more well-known than Cuphead. People don't know what Cuphead is. But Cuphead is a better game than Angry Birds, in my opinion. Max Payne versus Doom. So Max Payne won against Enter the Matrix, which is what I assumed. And Doom won against Diablo, which is what I assumed as well. So that's all fine. Yeah, so that's fine. Now, Max Payne versus Doom. I expect Doom will win. Yeah, I think Doom will win. Tomb Raider series. Tomb Raider beat Spyro. Easy sweep for Doom. Yeah, Doom will probably win. Tomb Raider versus Spyro. Tomb Raider won, which is what I assumed. Also, I assumed that Tomb Raider would win. So that's easy. And then Castlevania, I think I also said Castlevania would win. Yep, I did. I said Castlevania would win against Devil May Cry. And so I was right. And then Tomb Raider versus Castlevania. My guess is that I think that Castlevania should probably win, but I think Tomb Raider will win. No, I'm going to give both to Castlevania. I think Castlevania will win. I think Castlevania will win, and I think it should win. It's just... That's where the name Metroidvanias come from, right? Castlevania. They don't call them Raiders or something, you know what I mean? So... 1080 snowboarding versus Beat Saber. So Beat Saber beat Pistol Whip. We knew that was gonna happen. That's an easy win. And 1080 snowboarding beat SSX Tricky, wherever that is. That's down the line somewhere. Again, these are two different games, but I assume that Beat Saber will win as it's a VR game and it's new. And again, not a lot of people say 1080 snowboarding. Yes, 1080 snowboarding beat SSX Tricky. It doesn't make sense. I really thought that SSX Tricky would win, but I think it's because SSX Tricky was on a PS2 and not on a 360 on a N64. No, that's garbage. Okay. I think it's because again, the people who are playing these games are a different. They're okay. Yeah. I think SSX Tricky should have won, but it didn't. But in between 1080 snowboarding and Beat Saber will win. I assume Beat Saber will win. My mother plays Beat Saber. It should win. Horizon Zero Dawn versus Bloodborne, which means that Horizon Zero Dawn beat Horizon Forbidden West, which is actually not what I assumed. I assumed that Horizon Forbidden West would win, but I think the reason why Zero Dawn won is because more people had the chance to play it. Not a lot of people have a PS5, right? So not a lot of people wanted to play Horizon Forbidden West until they had a PS5. Oh, you're not surprised by that. Okay. Well, remember, I haven't played Forbidden West yet. Yeah. But But you're not gonna say things because I need to play it. Yeah, I'll put as soon as that custom PS5 controller comes out, where I can map the clicking in the thumbsticks to the triggers on the back. That'll be the first game I play. I can't click in thumbsticks anymore. Like, my thumbs just don't let me do that anymore. So, but yeah, I guess that was interesting for me because I figured the newer game would have more stuff, but again, more people didn't play it, so that makes sense. But then, fucking Bloodborne beat Sekiro. What? Why? I know why. Because Bloodborne is a cult game and Sekiro's not. Because Bloodborne's a Souls game. And Sekiro is technically like, it's made by Souls, but it's not a Souls game. This is sad for me. Sekiro is in my top 10 games of all time. And Bloodborne, while it's great, while it was a lot of fun, yeah, it is really good. They're both really good, but Sekiro is so much more for me. Sekiro is so much more fun. There are so many more ways to go about things in Sekiro than there are ways to go about things in Bloodborne. Bloodborne, you got 3 types of things. You got run away, you got shoot, and you got be aggressive, right? Sekiro, you can assassinate, you can be defensive, you can be aggressive, you can be, I don't know, like, Bloodborne art direction and story. What do you mean Bloodborne story? Nobody knows the story of Bloodborne. Even Bloodborne people don't know the story of Bloodborne. Sekiro is a defined game from start to end. There's a start, there's an end, right? You understand throughout the whole course of the game what happens. Bloodborne, you don't. Bloodborne, you're not told why you're there. You're there because it's spooky. You're there because you're there as a hunter. But why are you in the dream? How did you get to the dream? All this stuff. None of that's explained. Don't what me. Don't what me. Sekiro is explained. You gotta read the lore to understand Bloodborne. I get that. I understand that. Trust me. I played it. I played it and read everything. It's all explained in the game. Sekiro is easier to understand story-wise than any other Souls game. Do not even... that's not even a discussion, right? Because Sekiro is about a coup that happens. It just makes sense. Bloodborne, easier to understand doesn't mean better. I believe that Sekiro has a better story. Sekiro has a better story than Bloodborne does. Bloodborne's more intriguing. Don't get me wrong. I want to know more about the Bloodborne story. I do. I really do. I would love, love, love to get more Bloodborne story. Get me a Bloodborne 2. Get me more story. But Sekiro is more fun. If we're talking about a game that is more fun, in my opinion, Sekiro is more fun. There are lots of reasons that I can get into why Sekiro is more fun for me, but mainly it's because I can choose the way I want to play. Bloodborne, I really couldn't choose the way I wanted to play. It was mostly be aggressive. Be aggressive because that's what the rally mechanic is. If you don't use a rally mechanic, you're probably going to die. You're probably going to run out of stuff. You know, like... And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that Sekiro is better, in my opinion. But people have spoken. Just like people spoke that Melee was not deserving of being in this list. Just like people have spoken that all the 64 games are better than anything else on planet Earth. People have spoken. So what wins? Bloodborne versus Horizon Zero Dawn? I'd say Bloodborne wins. I would also say Sekiro wins versus Horizon Zero Dawn. I think Bloodborne will win. I think Bloodborne is a better game. Horizon Zero Dawn is a great game, but Horizon Zero Dawn is not... They're both open world, but one is just better. So I think Bloodborne will win this one. I don't think it'll be particularly difficult, but I think Bloodborne will win. And then we had Metal Gear Solid 3. Yes, Metal Gear Solid 3 versus 4. It looks like 4 won, which is what I assumed. However, 3 is my favorite. 4 is hard to not be my favorite, only because it has an hour and a half cutscene. That there's this cutscene that's an hour and a half in the game. But I really like that 3 had so much versatility in it. But Metal Gear Solid 4 was a fantastic title. Don't get me wrong. So I'm fine. I'm fine with either one winning. I was totally fine. I think I said Metal Gear Solid 4 was going to win. And then I think it was God of War versus Mass Effect. Which, again, God of War is in the light right now, right? Mass Effect's not. So I assumed that God of War series included God of War 2018. And that Mass Effect series included Mass Effect Andromeda. So, I think I went with God of War on this one. I think I went with God of War because it's just in the light right now. And what will win versus Metal Gear Solid 4 and the God of War series? I think God of War will take it in a landslide. I don't think that this will be a competition. I think God of War will just, especially with it being in everybody's forefront of their brains right now, I think God of War will just be a big hit. What was next? Twisted Metal 2 versus Microsoft Pinball. I think Pinball was over here. Pinball beat Minesweeper. How wild is that? Pinball beat Minesweeper. I really thought that Minesweeper was going to take it. I really did. I guess Microsoft Pinball just too strong. Too strong. Now, just so everybody knows, like, again, I contributed to this list. And I did put Microsoft Pinball and Minesweeper in here. And I mainly put them because they may not be the best games of all time, but think about like when you were a kid, these were some of the best games of all time. How many hours you spent in Microsoft Pinball to beat your score? How many hours you spent trying to do 100 bombs on Minesweeper? Like, they're things that you had, they're times that you had, right? So that's why I wanted to put these in there. But Microsoft Pinball, I feel like Minesweeper, I thought Minesweeper was going to win, but Pinball winning, that's kind of wild. And then Twisted Metal 2 versus Excitebike. I think I said Twisted Metal was going to win as well. I think that, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Microsoft Pinball will win. And I think it'll win because it's a meme. People like the meme. People are like, oh yeah, Microsoft Pinball. Yeah, totally I get that one. Okay, totally. So I assume that Microsoft Pinball will win. And also Twisted Metal games, they're not particularly amazing. They're really not. And pinball's pinball. I mean, it's fucking pinball. I think pinball will win. Oh, my heart, it breaks. My heart, it actually fully breaks just now. I'm a broken man after clicking that button because I know what lost. Hades versus Monster Hunter. Hades lost to Monster Hunter. I assumed that Monster Hunter would win. Yep, Hades lost to Monster Hunter. I assumed Monster Hunter would win only because more people know Monster Hunter. Less people know Hades. Even though Hades was... Yes, I'm not explaining anything to you. It was just, he had to throw things together, so he threw Monster Hunter versus Hades. It should have been an RPG versus an RPG. Yup. Totally right. But yeah, I guess Hades lost against Monster Hunter, which is I think I assumed that was gonna happen because of again the notoriety that Monster Hunter has. And it's not just Monster Hunter World, it's Monster Hunter Rise, it's Monster Hunter Tri, and the ones on the 3DS, like Ultimate and stuff, like they're all in the same thing, versus Hades. It should have been another roguelike versus Hades, if you ask me. Maybe like Spelunky. I'm trying to think of other like Rogue Legacy, or I don't know, Slay the Spire or something. But it lost. Even Inscription, like Inscription would have been an interesting one too, for adding into a roguelike. But Monster Hunter wins. But Uncharted beat Shadow of the Colossus. I knew this was going to happen. And in my heart of hearts, I really, really wanted Shadow of the Colossus to do better. Like, really, really. I knew that Uncharted was going to was going to win. Because Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 are icons. And the movie as well. And I knew that it's so sad. I knew that Shadow of the Colossus had no chance to win. No chance. Shadow was robbed here. I knew voting people, not a lot of people. Shadow of the Colossus is more people play games with guns than play games with swords. It's just the way that things are. Uncharted has guns, right? Shadow of the Colossus has swords. I knew it was gonna lose. I needed it to be on the list, and I asked my brother to make sure to put it on the list, because I know in my heart that it is a top 100 game of all time. It's my top number 1 game of all time. It's the game that I want to speedrun. It's the game that I made a fucking sword for. And that's sad. I don't think it would have beat Uncharted. I don't think it would have beaten Zelda. I don't think it would have beaten a lot of the games on this list. But I really thought that it would have a shot in the first round. But I as soon as I saw that it was up against Uncharted, it was game over. But Uncharted wins. And so what is the games in this list are Uncharted versus Monster Hunter. They are two different games, but games with guns win against games with no guns. I think more people have played Uncharted than play Monster Hunter or like Monster Hunter. I think more people like Uncharted than like Monster Hunter. Even though I'm in a group that's full of people that like Monster Hunter, and I wish that Monster Hunter would win, but Uncharted will win. Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 are two great titles that will throw Monster Hunter into the drink. It's just that's just the way it will go. What do I want to win? That's hard because I love Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4, and I love Monster Hunter World, and I like Rise. Don't get me wrong, I love playing it with my friends, but yeah. Yeah, and Uncharted has a movie that did pretty well. So, Monster Hunter is not accessible. You're right. It's very, very hard. It's very not accessible. You are 100% correct. Or not as accessible, at the very least. Uncharted is another shooter game with cover-based shooting that you've been working with for years. So, I would give this to Uncharted. Makes it wild that Hades lost to it? Well, because it's a bigger niche than Hades. Hades is played by, again, people who had a Switch or had, Hades is new. Monster Hunter is old. People have probably heard about Monster Hunter, right? People in his community probably haven't heard of Hades. Even though it almost, I think it won. Did it win Game of the Year? Yeah. But the viral craze is in our community, not his. His community is people who like photography, right? Probably a little bit older. I don't know. I still like Monster Hunter World more than Hades. Don't get me wrong. Hades is great. But I still would pick Monster Hunter World if I was just going to pick a better game. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I think Uncharted will win. And then we want to get into this. Is what is your favorite brand of system? Which I love that he didn't. I don't understand this. It should have been like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. It's Xbox with no lip here. That's weird. And then computer. It should have been PC, personal computer. Was my favorite brand of system? Probably Nintendo. Yes, cell phone. Actually, you're not wrong. It should have had cell phone in there. Totally right. It should have had phone. You think my brother's a boomer? My brother is 2.5 years older than me, but he hasn't retired yet. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Yeah, Xbox. Yeah, computer. Yeah, I know. How many of these games did you know? Probably all of them. Thanks for playing. Okay, and then he had a new one up today. Does he have a new one up today? No, he's going to post it later. He's going to the Foo Fighters concert. There you go. That's my brother, by the way. Just so we all know. More content? Arcade box? Yeah. I thought he had the new one up today, but I guess he'll post it later, and then we'll do another review as it goes down the line. Yeah, this is my brother, by the way, just so you all know. His name is Mac. Or Mac Lynn, if you want to be really technical. But yeah, he asked me to help him with this, and it's been fun. It's wild that there are some games that are missing. Again, I think that Stardew Valley should be in there. I think that they're probably the Magic the Gathering Arena or something. Should be in there. There was a lot of games that I looked online. After I gave him like a pretty extensive list, yeah, his hair's really long. After I went through my like list, I went online to see like what top 100 games of all time and stuff. And there were a bunch that like really that were there. Like Pikmin is in people's top 100 games of all time, which I thought was fun. Was it Tenchu Z? I think was in some of these games of all time. Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Undertale, Hearthstone, Super Mario RPG. Yep, all of those. Paper Mario. We talked about all of these last time. Katamari's not on the list. Persona's not on the list. Yep. All of these games were not even on the list. Which, again, this is a very... We're just gonna say, like, again, this is not like the best games of all time. This is the best games that he knows of all time. Again, I had to like beg him to put Sekiro versus Bloodborne up here, which both deserve to be on the list. Persona 5 deserves to be on the list. I also believe that Advance Wars deserves to be on the list. Or, you know what? Get rid of Advance Wars. Fire Emblem deserves to be on the list. Final Fantasy Tactics also deserves to be on the list. Again, Hearthstone. What was I was running through? Metro 2033 belongs on the list. I'm trying to remember other games that... Let's see, I think I was looking through... Left 4 Dead 2 deserves to be on the list. Overcooked. Portal was on the list, now it's dead. Civ was on the list, now it's dead. Team Fortress 2. I said Stardew Valley already. Probably Shogun Total War maybe deserves to be on the list. Worms. Freaking Worms Armageddon. Or Worms WMD. Like there's so many games. Oh, Until Dawn was something that I thought should be on the list. Yeah, so there are plenty of games that should be on this list that aren't. Yeah, but that's what we got for tonight. You know, I was gonna play Inscription afterward, but it's 10 o'clock, and I like really need some time to like lay down in bed. So we're actually gonna like call it here. But if you guys want to vote, by the way, his next story will be up probably tomorrow. So there you go. His next story will probably be up tomorrow. You can throw him a follow and vote for the one that you actually like, instead of the one that you think is gonna win. So that, yeah, which is gonna be wild. That'll be a wild time. So yeah, that'll be it for me for tonight. I know we've been talking about this for 2.5 hours. Hopefully the next one is a lot less. Every time it'll just get smaller and smaller. So, but I hope you all have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.